that's the option that I think Afrika Freaks are going to go with here, as we see the Zoe locked in for Clozer. So a much more poke-based composition this time for T1, a much more late-game focused composition, not trying to snowball things early.
Yeah, and we'll see what they round out this draft with. I'm curious to see what is going to be the pick here. Do we just see the Xayah that you were highlighting? I think that would be a nice option, but they're so
support Pantheon, top Akali. This can be very, very strong if it starts to snowball out of control. But this is, again, a composition for T1 where you have the Pantheon. It's going to give you a lot of coverage in mid, going to give you a lot of control of the bottom side of the map. But Akali is oftentimes going to be left alone when the Pantheon's not mid, and is bot in this case as the support. So it looks like we're actually not going to see... I just don't feel like it can't be overstated.
It's an important point, but we got some points to make up in the top lane. Say Dread, a very fast rotation, and Kana just too far pushed down the lane, just gonna get burned down and taken for first blood. Dread doesn't even clear out his whole jungle. Like, you don't expect Graves to be there at that timing. Yeah, we'll see how much that affects it. We're gonna have the collapse here from Afrika. Dread and Lehens, or rather T1, Dread and Lehens way too deep in the enemy jungle. As flashing over the wall here is Lehens, who nearly gets hit by that Voice Seeker. Just barely going to dodge to the right as he nearly looked on a rotation. And it looks like Afrika are thinking about actually contesting this. I think in this situation, you just give this one away and you just let Bang go bottom and you give him time to catch up. Because, you know, with T1's full 5-man rotation, you just leave the bottom lane empty and available.
Yeah.
And you can see that Afrika are going to try to, you know, delay this rotation as much as possible. Dread's going to get in position to try to burst someone down. We'll see how this goes.
Lehens.
Oh boy.
No flash.
He might just be dead. Not able to get that Aftershock down. And Fly is going to be baited into this one as well. The last auto gets Fly as he is... and immediately the Pantheon's just able to dive over. And speaking of Pantheon, we're trying to get on top of Fly, and that's a really nice scat of the week, but here comes the burst, and the pain is too much for Fly to handle. No flash available, and that kill will be given over to the Pantheon. Here for T1, they have so much pressure on the Drakes, too. It's either going to be Infernal or Mountain Soul, so that's going to feel pretty nice. Nice engage on Takaria, though, but he is Pantheon at the end of the day, so he's able to just dodge a lot of that damage. Here comes the follow-up, though. Teddy is going to have to try to ult away, but Dread just has too much damage. Kana into that backline now, trying to get onto someone. We see the burst onto Bang, but he's not the majority of their damage right now. Here comes Fly, and he's got a lot to come in here. He did use that ultimate already, but low health bars on the side of T1. You can see Fly desperately trying to take out the Olaf, but he just sticks alive for way too long, and Cuz is able to trade that one out so perfectly, and they will finally ace the side of Afrika with a great team fight here.
This is a composition that does so well in the longer fight. You know, a skirmish like this is going to go T1's way the longer it goes, you know, 9 out of 10 times. And the Olaf just being so much of a damage soak there, well, the damage output for Clozer was actually insane in that fight. He comes in with a nice flank angle, so watch, Cuz is on the Drake, right? Dread is here. They don't have vision. He goes over the wall, and Karia's in trouble, but he flashes over the wall perfectly here. Look at where Clozer is coming down. He's going to teleport at the flank angle, is meanwhile in live. Caster cursed him in the replay.
Unfortunately going to have to interrupt you there.
Hold that thought. Kana is trying to... trying to join it.
Kana's kind of in no man's land here. Not sure what he's doing all the way in the enemy jungle. As there's a follow-up from Keen. Should be a pretty easy cleanup kill, as that will kind of get Fly.
Total control. Kana's going to have teleport, so even though he's backing right now, he will be able to rejoin. His Dread is being very aggressive.
Yeah, and he has the ability to do this. Clozer is just going to get dominated 1v1. Even had Keen coming over. Afrika say, the hell with the Infernal Drake, the hell with the bottom side of the map. We're just going to push top lane and kill solo laners.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an amazing trade, but if you're just going to simply give the Drake up, then what you're going to have to do is Karia's coming in.
All right, trying to jump onto Dread here. They might have the damage this time around, and it will be enough. You can see that Keen with this tanky build trying to trade it back, but unfortunately not going to be able to. Takes a while to kill him, and actually the Shuriken misses, so...
Spear misses, guys. Void Seeker misses. Keen's like, all right.
He's like, maybe I can kill Karia here.
He might be able to if Kana messes this up. He's going for it.
He flashed. He's going for this one. It's not going to work out, though, Item.
That's chance. as we're going to watch this again. I think that probably their best chance at winning a team fight was actually trying to take the Infernal Drake fight instead of pushing top, but they just never felt like, with the position they were at on the bot side of the map, like, who are you going to find with the Graves? Like, you're going to have such a hard time. Maybe you get that rotation, you get that pick on a Clozer, but otherwise, I mean, he's looking for Clozer here, but if he just walks away.
Yeah, he's just hunting Clozer. That's basically what he's doing. Kana has a great flank on the back line. You see that Graves immediately is going to go down. And that's a good trade at this point in time. Kana able to kill the Graves. And it will be a 1-for-2 for now. You can see T1 are looking for more, but not going to be able to catch anyone else on their way out.
Yeah.
All the carries on the side of T1 are way too far ahead. So you can see they're looking for the pick here. They're trying to get on top of Keria. The cask is going to be good, and they do take him out. This is a great team fight as Kana is not here yet. And they're going to try to get on top of Clozer. Clozer doing insane amounts of damage, but he does have to back away eventually. Looking for it now as well. Kana tries to get in there, but it will not be successful. And just like that, Afrika are back in the game.
I mean, that was it. That's the hyper-aggressive engage that you need if you're Afrika Freaks to blow somebody up. On T1, you get that initial kill, and the fight just goes your way. You know, they get the kill onto Keria first, and he buys a little bit of time, but there's just not enough follow-up damage. That was a very well-executed fight for Afrika Freaks, like kiting onto Cuz as well, as he tries to come in and turn the fight around. It's beautiful. And
that is not where you want your Pantheon to be. And now they've caught Clozer in the mid lane. They just blow him up. And that is 2 kills now. As the Olaf isn't able to do anything alone, they're just going to look to dive this one. The cask helping out with the damage. A triple kill now for Bang, who is 6-1. And you could feel Teddy's frustration. He's like, maybe I should just do it and go in there 1v5. But not going to be the case in Afrika. They have taken back this game.
Yeah, that's a Baron. And that's going to be a lead for Afrika. They've actually caught up in this game. Kana's going to look to try to slow this down, but to see the Keen teleport in. Going to take a miracle fight here for Kaisa and Akali to turn this one around, and Afrika just are not even scared. They're not even worried. And this is just another aggressive play from Afrika, pressing their R button. So like, okay.
Just going to go for the Infernal Drake. You can see here comes the damage from the Zoe. The Drake is going to go the way of Afrika. They're going to find Keria again. And no support on the side of T1. Everybody's zoned to the top side. This is not the team fight you were looking for, and they find the Zoe and just blow her up immediately. Did she even exist in this fight?
No.
That's the question, as she immediately goes down. 4 kills the way of Afrika, and Teddy was not able to do anything. Maybe he'll take out Lahens here. But Afrika don't care. They're pushing to win.
Yeah. I mean, Afrika is going to push this inhibitor down at very least. 2 minutes until the Baron comes up. The respawn timer is here. 20 seconds away. T1 will have an opportunity to defend. This is not going to be game necessarily right away.
Okay. Some poke onto that front line. Cuz immediately down to about half health. And T1 are just running away. They do not want to engage. They're like, no, we can't fight this. And Dread wasn't even there. That was a 4v5 that Afrika just walked up to T1 and snatched out of their hand. Like candy from a bird.
I mean, they have such a nice setup to engage on. Anyone steps over the line and looks like...
Here we go again. Yep. Because it's not a front line, he just immediately dies. And Dread now is front lining. He's going to die probably here. Has a GA though, so he's just fine. As Clozer will get picked. It's looking like this is going to be a 2-0 in favor of Afrika, as Bang will finally clean up. Picks up the quadra kill, and they will make this look easy. 36 minutes into the game. Afrika will do it again and take the 2-0 over T1 tonight.
Talked about Flame Horizon. It's Dread who gets one across the jungle at 303 CS to the 198. A fantastic performance here from this Graves player as Afrika Freaks take this series back with some really hard engages and some very decisive moments, punishing mistakes out of the side of T1, and this is a disaster for the T1 squad. They find themselves now 2-4 this season in the spring split, and this is a team that came into this week with 2 easy matchups. Live Sandbox and Afrika Freaks. We kept saying strength of schedule, you know, T1 should bounce back. Let's wait and see. And to take, you know, the first series the way they did, very close against Live Sandbox, and then this series to get 0-2'd by the Afrika Freaks. I mean, this is not the T1 that people expected to see this season. There's so much pressure in every single